Now let's move on to the third historical milestone. During the Wei, Jin, and Northern Southern dynasties period, we witnessed the first decentralization of aesthetic authority, giving birth to Buddhist sculpture as representative art forms. At the end of the Three Kingdoms period, Cao Pi of Wei declared himself emperor and established the nine-rank system for official selection. This system fundamentally differed from Han's merit-based recommendations and later imperial examinations. It formally acknowledged aristocratic clans' monopoly over political resources and official positions. Both Eastern and Western Jin dynasties inherited this system from their Wei predecessors. After centuries of development, these powerful clans became social behemoths, controlling political and economic resources. Meanwhile, imperial authority weakened through constant warfare, reducing emperors to aristocratic puppets. This power shift naturally transferred cultural authority, including aesthetic standards, from royalty to aristocrats. As previously mentioned, Han aesthetics combined Confucian rationality with Taoist philosophy, celebrating imperial achievements. But the northern or southern dynasties brought dramatic changes. Now aristocrats dictated aesthetic values. Imperial glorification faded as aristocratic tastes became mainstream. This coincided with one of China's darkest historical periods. War-torn chaos fostered escapist nihilism among aristocrats. This despair manifested artistically through divine symbolism's resurgence, albeit transformed. Ancient bronze touty monsters gave way to Buddhist deities in sculpture. From frontier Dunhuang to central Luoyang, Buddhist cave art flourished. These masterpieces mirrored dark times through divine human-scale disparity. Colossal Buddha statues in Yungang and Longmen grottos embodied transcendent sanctity. The human figures surrounding Buddha statues, usually patrons, appear vague and insignificant in comparison. This stark contrast reflects the social ideology of that era. It shares conceptual similarities with Shang dynasty's solemn Taoti motifs. Take the Tanyao Five Caves in Yungang grottos of Shanxi's Datong as example. These northern Wei caves feature colossal Buddha statues dwarfing surrounding decorations. This exemplifies our earlier point about divine human-scale disparity. Beyond sculpture, other arts also transformed during this period. Han's celebration of earthly power gave way to spiritual introspection. This produced transcendent philosophies like the Seven Sages of the Bamboo Grove. Zhou Tell You and Ming's Peach Blossom Spring epitomized this escapist philosophy. He pioneered the reclusive poetry tradition. These works reveal Southern Dynasty's aesthetics aligning with Indian religious mysticism. Such changes stemmed from chaotic social conditions. Fortunately, China's rational traditions proved resilient. With Sui unification, rational aesthetics resurged, seen in humanized Buddhist statues like Mogai's Amitabha, modeled after Empress Wu. Mortal scenes like banquets and battles dominated Buddhist murals. Depictions of mortal life became prevalent, reflecting renewed focus on human affairs and rational pursuits. Such human-centered art remains rare even in Indian Buddhist art. This signals Confucian-Taoist rational aesthetics regaining dominance. Which brings us to our fourth historical node. Let's start with Tang poetry. Its artistic achievements remain unparalleled across time and cultures. It transcends mere art, functioning like cultural DNA that shaped our national character. Great poets like Li Bai, Du Fu, and Bai Zhui have become shared cultural icons for all Chinese people. What social conditions fostered this poetic golden age? Post-Northern or Southern dynasties, unification under Sui, then Tang created unprecedented stability and prosperity. Emperor Wen of Sui established the imperial examination system to break aristocratic monopolies. Tang refined this system, transforming knowledge into meritocratic currency for scholar officials. This power shift redirected aesthetic authority from aristocrats to scholars, fostering worldly confidence. A new social class's debut unleashed remarkable creative vitality. This cultural awakening produced poetry's crown jewel, Tang poems. Through these verses, we witness Tang society's confidence and prosperity. War-induced nihilism vanished, replaced by unmatched heroic optimism. This bold confidence permeated both individual and national identity. Zhang Ruoxu's Spring River Moonlight transcends scenery to ponder time's eternal flow. Such cosmic contemplation differed fundamentally from earlier dynastic poetry. Each poet's unique perspective created distinct imagery across the poetic spectrum. Li Bai, the poet immortal, excelled in romantic imagination, encompassing majestic landscapes and timeless scholar ethos. Du Fu, the poet sage, focused on worldly sufferings and social injustices through his works. What they shared was Tang poets' outward-looking perspective and unprecedented cosmic imagery. This universal inclusiveness defined Tang poetry's aesthetic, later paralleled by song lyrics. And though often paired, Tang poetry and song lyrics differ fundamentally in content and form, reflecting social changes. Post-Tang decline in territory and military power altered cultural expressions. Thus, song lyrics diverged completely from Tang's universal aspirations. Where Tang poetry expanded outward, song lyrics turned inward, examining personal emotions. Su Shi's Prelude to Water Melody exemplifies this introspective focus on personal longing. His celestial journey ultimately returns to earthly separation, melancholy. This emotional introspection typifies song artistic characteristics. Such features directly correlated with song's social context. Song perfected imperial examinations, elevating scholar officials to unprecedented status. With aristocratic decline, scholar officials monopolized cultural authority. This dominance enabled diverse artistic forms to flourish. Beyond poetry, calligraphy and landscape painting achieved new heights. Song landscape painting became China's cultural signature, like Zhou bronzes. These innovations marked aesthetic authority's second decentralization. Now let's explore in detail the treasure of Chinese art, landscape painting. To understand landscape painting, we must return to northern or southern dynasties' religious sculptures. Buddhist cave temples of that era always contained accompanying murals. Initially, these murals exclusively depicted religious themes. During Sui Tang periods, landscape elements gradually emerged from religious contexts. Song scholars' privileged status and military weakness fostered introspective naturalism. This historical context birthed art focused on accepting reality and contemplating nature. Northern Song landscapes differed from later freehand styles, emphasizing realism. Master Fan Quan's work captured nature's essence through meticulous observation. His Travelers Among Mountains and Streams combines grand vistas with exquisite details. History progresses through twists and turns. Mongol conquest shattered literati traditions, invalidating examination systems. Our fifth node, Yuan-Qing aesthetic democratization, birthed Zaju drama and novels. As mentioned, Yuan literati suffered dramatic status loss. This displacement forced intellectuals into folk art creation. Zaju drama evolved from Jin dynasty court performances called Yuanben. Yuan intellectuals blended Tang legends and song storytelling traditions. This fusion elevated dramatic arts to new heights. Compared to elite Tang-Song poetry, Yuan drama embraced everyday life. Elements like scholar beauty romances, supernatural tales, and imperial dramas flourished, producing classics like Romance of the Western Chamber and The Injustice to Go E. Even illiterate audiences could now access artistic expressions. More importantly, Zaju marked intellectuals' first engagement with grassroots themes. Guanhan King's Injustice to Due focuses on a commoner's tragic fate with profound empathy. The play's power radiates from Douai's story to expose an entire corrupt era. This transcends personal tragedy to lament the zeitgeist itself. Such grassroots perspectives rarely appear in Tang-Song poetry. This signals merging of elite and folk aesthetics, foreshadowing further democratization. These changes crucially enabled Ming Qing novels' emergence. The same Tang poetry, song lyrics, Yuan drama, Ming Qing novels reveals an anomaly. Despite vulgar content, Yuan drama maintained literati aesthetics and formal structures. Strict metrics, poetic language, and scholar class frustrations persisted. Ming and Qing novels fundamentally broke this tradition. Previously scorned themes, marketplaces, Zhenghu outlaws, supernatural tales thrived. Why this dramatic shift occurred? The answer lies in historical context. Ming Qing saw Confucian orthodoxy peak alongside imperial decline. Imperial examinations became society's ultimate pursuit. This exam obsession created cultural rigidity, yet commercial growth and printing technology democratized knowledge, creating semi-literate masses excluded from power but hungry for stories. Scholarly aspiring with critical edge, scholarly aspirants began intensely questioning their fate and the imperial examination system's dominance. This focus on individual destiny birthed novels chronicling urban life and personal struggles. Masterpieces like Three Words, Two Slaps, The Plum in the Golden Vase, and Water Margin emerged. This aesthetic diverged from Han's imperial glorification and Tang's universalism, focusing on mundane realities. Such individualistic focus marked unprecedented enlightenment across social classes. Thinkers like Li Zi and Wang Fuxi sparked anti-orthodoxy philosophical movements. Thus, Ming novels embodied liberation and authenticity. Ming dynasty reversed this trend with extreme conservatism, and Ming's enlightenment abruptly halted, shifting novelistic focus. Qing novels developed escapist aesthetics seeking spiritual release. Dream of the Red Chamber epitomized this aesthetic. Its ornate depiction of aristocratic decline exudes profound despair. This reflected feudal society's terminal phase. Thus concludes our journey through Chinese aesthetic evolution. From Shangzhou's mystique to Han's philosophical synthesis, from medieval escapism to Tang's expansiveness and late imperial individualism, aesthetic authority gradually democratized from rulers to commoners. Pre-Li Zehou aesthetic histories lacked systematic analysis. Li pioneered original theoretical frameworks in aesthetic studies. Li Zehou indeed achieved his goal. He vitalized historical analysis by connecting zeitgeist with aesthetics, revealing hidden historical meanings behind familiar artworks. So, as the book states, the sparks of zeitgeist condense here, permeating human thoughts and emotions, making people linger with profound sighs. This concludes our interpretation of the path of beauty. Study notes await below. Until our next literary encounter.